Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Ask My Wedge. I'm doing another job in the toilet back here in the back of a storefront where nobody can get back here unless you are a plumber. Okay, so alright, we back here. Man, they got this place shut down, it look like. When we got a toilet here. They saying they complaining the water is leaking on the other side of this bathroom in the carpet. So usually that's because of the toilet leaking. Probably needs the wax ring replaced. But when we lift the toilet up, we'll see all that is hiding and see if we need more than just the wax ring. Sometimes the flange is too low to the floor. Sometimes people get floors put down, new floors, and it goes over the wax, it goes over the flange. The flange is the piece that holds the toilet to the floor. That needs to be above the floor so that it can hold the toilet down properly and evenly. If it's too low, you'll have a leak. And the leak don't always show up out here. What they did is they sealed the floor here. They sealed the toilet to the floor. I got to cut all this out so I won't break this glass. And find out what's going on under there. Okay. Now I lift the toilet up and we can examine, but first, this toilet is uneven on the floor. That could mean that something under the toilet, but let's look at this flange and so-called wax ring. This is the same type of wax ring I was going to put on there. These like non-wax wax rings. And it looks like it's been smashed pretty good. It's probably leaking a little bit out that way. It comes up this thick. So by being smashed like that, just showing me that it wasn't on there flush. So water was leaking back. And what happened is when they put that seal around this toilet, the water started going under the towel here. Going actually underneath the towel, slowly dripping its way. So we got to see how we can fix this. This may be a sign that wax is better. You know, the old-fashioned wax rings, this probably wouldn't have happened because the wax tends to go in places that this couldn't go in. And kind of like when the toilet sits down, it melts in all the little cracks. But this one, you see how it's deformed on this end, allowing it to leak. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so we got our new flange on. It's exactly like the other one. However, what I added was a spacer. I put a little black spacer here to rise it up a little more. This flange is a little below, if not level to this floor. That's not proper. We want these flanges to be above this floor. The length or the width of this flange, or the size, diameter, or the width of this flange coming up and down should be above this floor that much. Half inch, whatever it is, it should be above this floor. Okay? And then we got a spacer in here because it's below. So our spacer is going to bring our flange up a little more, and we got our wax ring without the wax. Same thing they had on before, but we're going to prepare to do it better this time. We're going to set our toilet on here and even everything out. Clean. Make sure you clean everything up before you place your toilet. And I'm not going to put any more seal down because that's why we're in this in the first place. You know, the seal stops us from seeing the leak in here and send it in there and does more damage than it's worth. Only time you use the seal is just for beautification. You put your putty and your seal and your all your pretty stuff. You do that when you're trying to do a new situation. But when you have a reoccurring situation in your plumbing where you have drain problems, I wouldn't recommend you seal all your toilets every time because you're going to have to lift them back up.